Hey everybody, today is Saturday, March 10th. Can't believe it. Time changes late tonight already. Or early tomorrow, however you look at it. I guess I'm thinking of maybe making two videos. I'm gonna make one about my family and then I'm gonna do a rant video because I've never really done a rant video. But work. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that. But I'm gonna kind of do about my family. Kind of like my family dynamic and such. I am blessed with a really cool family. I'm an only child. My mom has a brother and a sister, and my dad had two brothers and two sisters. One brother passed away New Year's Eve this year, which I had blogged about before. And my mom, I'm closer to my mom's side of the family because all my cousins and stuff do things together and see each other a lot. My dad's side of the family is cool, but I don't get to see them very much. I see my Uncle Joe and that's about it. My crazy Aunt Jenny calls about every day. When she's around, I still gotta get her on video because y'all, she's crazy. But I love her. God bless her and all her craziness. My mom has a sister who's 2 years younger than her, and she has a brother who is nearly 17 years younger than her. So me and my uncle are about 5 years apart. And when I was born, my mom had to have a lot of stitches, and so we stayed at my grandma's from the first week or two that I was in this world. And my Uncle Jeff kind of treated me as his own doll. And when it was time for us to go, he hid my mom's watch, hoping that if she didn't know what time it was, we wouldn't leave. So we've kind of grown up more siblings, really, than aunt and uncle. He's something else. He's a very smart guy and goofy like me. So I think I fed a lot of my personality off of him. He's unique. And he's married a really nice lady who... they have a lot of similar interests. My Aunt Donna and my Uncle Jeff. They're the same age. They'll be 40 this year. Because I'll be 35 in May. May 3rd. Can't believe it. 35. And they've tried to have kids and they've never been able to have kids. Though they have a kid, but it's a dog. Eddie. I have one grandparent left. My mom's mom. Her name's Tula May. She was born in Arkansas. My mom was born in Arkansas, as was her sister, but my uncle was born up here. So I have a lot of hillbillies in my family. A lot of relatives in Arkansas. My Aunt Geneva, who just had a knee replacement yesterday. She's doing good, so we've been getting calls about that. And her husband's name was Joe Bill. He died last year. And their kids' names were... I have a cousin named Michael Joe, a cousin named Bobby Dean. So you can tell, hillbillies. They're great though. They're a fun bunch. And I don't know. I just have been really blessed with a good family. I mean, I have remembered both of my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversaries. My parents have been married for 35 years. We just all get along, and I know some people don't have that. And so I'm lucky to have that. Yes, I live in my parents' home. I don't know if that's loserish or not, but I live in their basement, actually. But, you know, we kind of help each other out. And, in 2004, my mom started getting sick. She wasn't acting normal. And, you know, I would pester her, you know, you need to go to the doctor. She's the type that, you know, leave me alone, quit pestering me, you're picking on me. And she started retaining a lot of water, and she was sitting on the couch one day. I'm like, Mom, okay, look at my belly. Yes, it's big, gushy, look, gushy. And I'd poke my belly. And I said, look at yours, it's like hard like a rock. I said, something's not right. I mean, it looks like you're pregnant. And I know you're not. And so she went to the doctor, and they gave her some, you know, water pills to try to get the water out of her system. And things just started to go downhill. And she would tell people she was feeling okay, but me and Dad knew better because we saw her 24 hours a day at home. And it got to the point to where it was getting bad. She had so much water in her system that it started seeping out her legs, and it was not a good situation. And right after, in early 2005, January, she was sent to a blood specialist who was going to really do some workup on her blood. And he noticed that when Dad took her, I said, Dad, something's not right. She was almost like she was drugged out, but she wasn't on anything. And she was confused, and the doctor was like a block away, and Dad came home, and he walked in the house, and he grabbed the phone, and he called my grandma. And I hear him bawling, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I've never really seen my dad cry before, ever. And I'm like, something bad's happening. And he had called my grandma to ask her to come up and go to the hospital with him, because he was freaking out. Mom was in the truck, kind of like in La La Land. And what had happened is, she went to the hospital, and Dad called me, and they had her in a room, just a regular room, to monitor her. And that next day we were all up there, and this little Asian guy came into the waiting room, and he said, I need to talk to you guys. And he said, well, she, her kidneys are failing, her liver's failing, she's got water around her lungs, she's got a little bit of water around her heart, and there's just a lot of things going on, and we're trying to get her into critical care. And they were trying to get her in bed. And me and Dad had come home briefly to change that evening, and by the time we got home, it was like a 45-minute drive from here to the hospital. By the time, it's about a half hour. By the time we got home, the little Asian guy called us and said, you guys might want to come back because they didn't know if she was going to survive the night. Okay, freak out time. I kind of remained fairly calm because I don't know, I guess I kind of go into a mode of I have to do things. So as we're driving back to the hospital, I'm calling family members and saying, we were just told that she might not survive the night. And so my cousins, who live 8 hours away, when she first went in the hospital, they started driving, and they had gotten there when we had left. And so we had so many people show up that evening, this was about 8 or 9 o'clock, that the waiting room was too small where she was. So they opened up this room next door, which was like a rehab room, and there was probably about 25 or 30 of us there waiting to hear what was going to happen. And about 11 o'clock that night, a doctor came in and said, I'm looking for the family. And we're like, we're all it. And he stood up, he goes, I'm kind of outnumbered. And he goes, well, I'm the critical care doctor, and I got her a bed, we're moving her up. She's got a lot of things wrong with her. First, I want to know, is she a drinker? And as soon as he asked that, I knew it had to have been like cirrhosis of the liver. And my dad said, well, if you consider like a wine cooler a year a drinker, then yeah, but no, she's not a drinker. And he says, well, she has cirrhosis, and it's the kind of, they don't know what causes it, which had caused her kidneys to fail, because if anything goes under duress, your kidneys freak out, I guess. And so the water had nowhere to, it was just a mess. And he said she's young, because at that time she was 54. And he said, we're going to just try to slowly jumpstart her again. And so they took her into critical care and pretty much put her in like a medical coma for like a week. There's a week she can't remember. Even to this day, she doesn't remember it. They had her on a ventilator. They had her on dialysis. She had to be on dialysis for like 2 or 3 months. Then her kidney started working again. And she was in the hospital for, in critical care like 2 weeks. And then she went into a regular room until she cried enough to the doctor to let her go, and she went and stayed with Grandma for a while. But let me tell you, she's doing really good. She came really close to not being around here anymore. And I know you're probably just all so happy to hear my story, but it was a scary situation. My dad was freaking out. I mean, that day that we were driving up there, he's like, I want you to move upstairs from the basement into the house because I don't want you down there. I don't want you that far away. I said, Dad, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And but let me tell you, that doctor, the other day we saw a commercial on TV, and Dad and I and Mom were sitting in the living room, and it was a commercial for the hospital, and that doctor was part of it, and he goes, "There's a doctor that saved your life." And so she is still in a there might be a day where she'll need a new liver, and she's in a pre-liver transplant program in Chicago. So every 6 months she has to go to the hospital there and have tests run, and they keep tabs on it to make sure her numbers are good and the liver isn't getting bad. So she's always has to go to doctor. She's a blood doctor she has to go to, but her liver doctor here, the last time she went a month ago, said he didn't want to see her for a year, so that was good. So she was hoping when she went to Chicago this last time a month ago, they would say the same thing, but no, 6 months. And so now my dad's getting ready to retire work, and he wants to get all this medical stuff out of the way, because he's kind of freaked out since his one brother right now is he has terminal cancer, and he's going to be doing chemo until he dies, but the chemo is keeping it under control, my Uncle Joe. And his other brother Chuck, who died on January on New Year's, excuse me, still have a cough, died of a kind of cancer. And so he wants to get everything checked out before he retires, because he wants to make sure there's nothing that's gonna like surprise him. So, and he has a hernia he wants to get taken care of, and he wants to get all this done because he's gonna retire in July, which pretty much he's gonna drive Mom crazy. So he went last week to have a stress test on his heart, and he went and talked to the doctor, and the doctor put him on a monitor, so he had to wear all these electrodes and stuff. And he came in his bedroom after the doctor. I said, "So how'd it go?" And he goes, "Wouldn't it be fun if I went to a bank and I said, 'Give me all your money'?" And he whips up his shirt, and all you see is all these wires and crap, and he goes, "I'm gonna blow this place up." My dad's a goof. And so he had to wear all that crap for a night, and then had it taken off on Thursday, and they made him walk on a treadmill. And I came home, I said, "So how'd it go?" And he's like, "Well, nothing bad, but," and I'm like, "Oh great, there's a but." There was enough concern that the doctor wants him to go to the hospital on Monday, and they're going to run a catheter up through his groin and take a gander. And he said if he finds any blockages, he'll stint them then. So my dad has been whining for the last 2 days that he's going to run away on Sunday. So he's not looking forward to this at all. So they had to reschedule his other doctor's appointment for his hernia surgery. And Mom's like, "You're the one that wants to get this all done before you retire, so you're going to deal with it. It'll be okay." So I'm hoping it all goes fine on Monday, because if they do find blockages, he'll have to stay in the hospital. And it's just, I'm kind of worried. I'm a little bit worried, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Well, I've kind of babbled, I guess, enough. I don't even know how long I've been talking, but I might shut this off and then do another video. No, but that's kind of like my family: Mom, Dad, Grandma, extended cousins, aunts and uncles, like everybody. But I'm lucky to have ones that get along. So I'm off.